And we're live.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, hello. Sorry, I'm in a different location. I got confused where the camera was for a second.
Hello, everybody. I was thinking about this intro today earlier, actually, and I realised that we don't say our names, which is probably a bit arrogant, really, to assume that everyone knows who we are.
When everybody knows your name.
Well, this is a replacement Cheers bar where everyone knows your name. So
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Nick Gray.
Don't say anything offensive, please.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode. Did you say 17, Nick?
17.
That's impressive. That's that's a lot. You think this was started on a whim at the start of lockdown, and we thought it's not going to be on for very long. 17 is pretty.
We're still doing it on a whim.
Yeah.
We just have nice graphics now.
Yeah. Well, I'm Josh Astrop, so I think it's worthwhile saying your name. You know, nobody knows who the fuck we are. This is Andy.
I'd rather not give my name. Sorry, my name's Andy.
And who are you?
Nick Gray.
How do you spell your last name, mate?
Gray.
That's weird.
Make a note.
Grey.
No,
sure?
It's like the name, not the colour.
Oh. Is there such a thing?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Can we get some comments in the chat? Should it be Gray or Grey? Let's get a poll going, please. And if the audience vote, you have to change your name by default.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair.
Brilliant.
Okay, Andy, what have you been doing since we last did this shit?
Well, I've been working from home, so that's all good. Happy days. I had Friday the 13th off. Spooky.
Did you have it off because it was Friday the 13th?
Yeah, it's a thing I do every year. I'm just nervous to. No, I had planned to go away for a long weekend, so I booked off before lockdown, but then lockdown 2.0 happened, so I thought, you know what, I'll just keep the holiday day, and so I didn't do much. I just chilled out, had a nice lie-in. I went for a big long walk, actually. So I did like a 10-mile walk on Friday, and then me and Josh we met for a socially distanced coffee, and we walked from Yellow Bourbon to Delaprey Abbey and walked around there, and then we walked back in the rain, so that was nice. And then I did another walk on Sunday, so I just walked basically all weekend. Just got out there in the great outdoors. It's lovely.
Excellent. Sounds lovely, mate. Sounds nice. Sounds like a good weekend.
Yeah. I mean, I've got my legs chafed a bit, but you know, that's just a personal thing. So put some. In fact, I've got it here. Some Sudocrem. Today's sponsor, Sudocrem. Great for any big boys out there who get chafed. You know, your legs chafe. So that's the stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a sponsor? Or?
Yeah, along with ExpressVPN, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay, excellent. Okay.
Did you say where you were going to go, Andy? Were you going to go somewhere nice?
I was gonna go and meet my girlfriend's family, but I did that before lockdown happened. So I was supposed to go to Faversham, where my girlfriend's mum and dad are from.
Yep.
But when the lockdown was announced, we did it that weekend. So I've already been, and it was nice. It was really nice. Faversham's cool. It's in Kent. It's like not a seaside town, but kind of a seaside town. You know, there's like weird in between ones where it's like on an estuary. Anyway, so yeah, it was a nice visit. They've got a very cute dog, and I met her twin sister. So yeah, it's confusing. I was like, oh, I don't know which one it is. I better not take the wrong one home. Whoops. No, they're different people. You can tell.
Is she still in the boot of the car? Is she? Or?
Yes.
They're different people. Yeah, I'd just like to they are different people.
I'd just like to point out my girlfriend is a different person to her twin sister, but yeah. So no. But no, that's what I was supposed to do, but did it already, completed it, mate. Completed it. So.
Nice. Nick, what have you been up to?
The same old. Didn't have any plans that I had to not do. Apart from some gigs, I was supposed to see Idlewild last week. It would have been, but that's been put back to next year. I've been doing some music, which is nice. Yeah, working on. I'm not sure if it's a secret project, so I won't say anything too descriptive about it.
Brilliant. So I won't say anything.
I won't say anything. But it's been really good. Yeah, it's been really fun. I just spent like an evening mixing and tinkering about with some songs, and hopefully, when it all comes out, you'll enjoy it.
Brilliant.
Cool.
Yeah,
Sounds good. Sounds good.
that's about
What did
it.
you get to, Josh? I mean, I know what you did Saturday afternoon because I was with
Yeah.
you. So.
Yeah, we went for a lovely walk. I've been doing much the same as last week, I think, which is working, exercising, and walking. And it's really nice, isn't it? I mean, it's perhaps not as exciting as I'd like to be, but if you could do those things, they're all pretty good. Being able to go to work and being able to go for walks is so much better than actually staying in for fucking 3 months or whatever we did last time. So I'm much happier now. So no, it's been really nice. And also, we haven't. What are you drinking? What are you drinking?
Hey.
Well then, mate, that's 2 for 2. You've had beers 2 weeks in a row.
I know.
That's good for you. Have you got a problem now? Do we need to call someone?
Well, maybe we need to have a little talk afterwards.
Yeah. Well, as you can hear, I'm just cracking mine open. But I mentioned last week Signature Brew. My friend Charlie works for them and sent me a load of beers. So hello.
Oh, someone at the door.
Someone at the
That
door.
was-
The
my
new
front
comedy
door.
character.
That wasn't mine.
This is the guy from Signature
It's
Brew
our
to take
new
his beer
segment.
back.
Who's behind the door? Yeah, it's called Pink Vinyl, and it's what do they call it? It's a raspberry sour iced tea, I think they call it, beer. It's really nice, really good. Basically, it tastes like snake bite. Shh, don't tell anyone.
Ooh, nice. Nick, what are you drinking?
Nothing interesting. I'm drinking Halston Pills.
Nothing wrong with that.
Where is it? There you go.
I was talking to my dad the other day about the show, and he said, "Do you guys drink Carlsberg?" And I was like, "I think Nick did last week, but that's like the first time." Was it last week or when was it?
Heineken.
Is it Heineken? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, we've never drank Carlsberg, so maybe we should have a Carlsberg next week,
maybe we should.
as it's brewed
Right.
in Hampton.
If they send us some, we drink it.
Yeah.
If anyone from
brewed by the water
Carlsberg
of
is
the Nen.
watching, please send us some beer. Thanks.
Yeah, I do enjoy what it says on the Halston Pills can though. Pure brewing excellence. That's big talk.
That is big talk,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I always remember Holston Pills for being the beer that was on EastEnders. They'd never say what it was. It was always pint, and then that would be it. But if they were drinking bottled beer, it was always Holston Pills. I remember the label, thinking, yeah, okay.
Yeah. They
And I
must have
remember
got some
trying
sponsorship from that.
Yeah, and it was disgusting. So
No, I think it's a nice beer. Brewed in Hamburg, Germany, which is a very good place to go and get pissed. So
yeah, I'd agree with that.
works
And
good.
good place to get hamburgers.
That's true. That is
Why
true.
they were invented, yeah.
The humble hamburger. Has anyone in the chat or anyone here, has anyone tried the double Big Mac? Have I heard that right? I've heard a rumor of double Big Mac.
I only saw that today. I was literally on my way home and saw a bloody great big advert in a bus stop saying double Big Mac. So it's a double.
So anyone out there, if you got a double Big Mac, please leave us a comment and let us know. I mean, I thought the double quarter pounder with cheese was as far as they were going to go, but obviously not. Obviously,
I think my girlfriend's just gone to go and answer the door because no one answered it.
I mean, whoever it is, only rang the doorbell once.
Yeah, they're not showing any level of impatience.
Have you ordered food and you just haven't remembered?
No, but Lauren did do that once. She got really drunk. Well, once, it was like 2 weeks ago. She got really drunk before lockdown, obviously, and was, as you do when you're drunk, you get hangry. And she went to bed and slept through the whole night, as we both did. But in the morning, when I went to get the milk that got delivered, there was 2 pizzas just left on the doorstep. And I was like, Lauren, did you order 2 pizzas last night? She's like, I don't remember doing it, but she obviously did.
I mean, I'm surprised there weren't like a cat hadn't gone through them or something, or like a squirrel had like run up and gone through the boxes. So let me guess, you ate those, Nick, the next day?
No, I didn't. They were completely unscathed, though. They were in a nicely packaged box, wrapped in a bag as well. So they probably would have been all right, but decided against it.
God, I remember being in a pub and some pissed people came in. This is when I was at uni, and they had takeout pizza boxes, and they were trying to get served in the pub. And the guy was like, "No, like you're too pissed or whatever." But they were so pissed they left their pizza there. And then I saw a group of other pissed people come in and just start eating the pizza from the box that was on the table. And I was like, that is mental. Like, I don't care how pissed you are. I would not. And like again, another uni story was I made beef burgers once and I made too many. This is in like halls. And I threw them in the bin. And the next day, a load of lads from my corridor were like, mate, we were so pissed when we came in last night. We knew some burgers were in the bin, so we fished them out and ate them. I was like, you're all mental. They were like, it was so nice. And they were like, can you make them again? I was like, no, I'm never making those ever again.
How skint do you have to be to eat burgers from the bin? There's a question for our watchers. How skint
hey guys, how skint do you have to be?
Answers on a postcard.
How low exactly would your bank balance be?
Alex Salter has confirmed the double quarter pounder with cheese was epic. I agree with that. And the spicy one. I didn't even know they did a spicy one. They do those ropey, spicy nuggets now in McDonald's, which are disgusting.
Yeah, they're not good.
No, thank you.
Even more artificial tasting than a normal chicken.
Here's a question for everyone. What's better, chicken nuggets or chicken selects?
This is big talk tonight. This is big talk.
We've only got 2 episodes left, so we're getting the key questions out now.
The questions you've
I'm a Nuggets man.
You're a Nuggets man.
Yeah, you look like a nugget man. Yeah.
Yeah, you look like a nugget.
The shittest superhero ever.
Well, I'd never had a select until about 3 or 4 years ago, and then it changed my world. I was like, okay, I get it. Yeah. So I would say I'm a select person.
You've been a more rounded individual since.
Literally.
There's a double layered joke there.
Claps in the chat for the joke.
Yeah, claps in the joke for that joke. Well done, Nick. Yeah, quite literally. Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, well that's enough of this bollocks. Let's get on to let's introduce our first guest. If you have been to any gigs in Northampton, you will most likely have seen him play. I imagine he's a multi-instrumentalist, producer, thoroughly lovely bloke. Is he ready, Nick? Can you see?
He is ready.
Oh, lovely stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Gamage.
Clapping
in the chat for Adam.
Clapping emojis, please.
Hello, mate. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you, lads?
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. What are you drinking?
So it's been... Yeah, what are you drinking?
We're drinking a cup of tea.
Nice. What are we talking?
PG.
Just
PG tip. Proper studio tea, that. Get through the day.
I'm a bit of a tea snob, so I would disagree. But yeah, Nick can attest to this because I changed the brand of tea. Yeah, at my old job and where you work currently, the tea you get is Yorkshire because they used to get PG and I kicked off about it, and now they buy Yorkshire tea in. So that cup of tea you drink, mate, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Your legacy lives on.
And not like some sort of old dishwater, you know.
You're
welcome.
You didn't fancy changing the shit coffee we get either, did you?
I didn't have any say over that. I'm sorry, mate. Yeah, I couldn't do anything about that.
Well, actually,
it wasn't close enough.
I don't want to talk about work too much because it's fucking horrible at the moment. But the brand of coffee we do get is different now. We've upgraded to gold.
Oh, ambassador! You're spoiling us with this Nescafe Instant Gold.
Yeah, since your salary's off the books, we can afford things like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, there is there is that, isn't there? Anyway, enough about this. How's it going, Adam? How's your lockdown 2.0 going?
All right, thank you. I've just been doing pretty much the same thing. Just been working here in the studio because obviously there's no live gigs anymore. So I've been quite lucky, really, that I managed to get this off the ground with my friend Greg in sort of March, April this year. And it's the only thing keeping me going at the minute, which is great. So I've just been in here working on tracks for people all over the world, really.
So you're well, arguably your main trade is live music, isn't it? It's being a musician in several bands. Who are you playing with at the moment, or would you be playing with at the moment?
Well, I've been playing live for like 10, 15 years, whether it be touring or locally. This year I was set out to play with Tom Grennan, Baxter Jury, Vant. Maybe there's this Liverpudlian girl called Zuzu who I've been playing with. So it would have been a really busy year with 2 slots at Glastonbury, one on the Friday, one on the Saturday. And then obviously, like you were saying earlier, all the little pub gigs in between.
Yeah.
But it's all worked out in my favour, really. Having a year out or a bit of time out from gigging and travelling so much all the time, it's given me the chance to finally get this off the ground, which is what I've been wanting to do for years. So it's actually been a bit of a blessing in disguise. So when I end up touring again, I'll have double the amount of income. I'll have the touring work and then I'll have the recording as well. And I enjoy both. So happy days.
Yeah,
So
that's put it up. Yeah.
Where is the studio you've set up? Is it local? Is it in your house? Is it separate to your home? Is it like in another location?
It's at the Albion Brewery. Do you know where that is? In fact, Josh, you've got a setup upstairs. So we.
Oh, I know exactly where it is. Next to the King Billy.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
They've just gone. They've just closed down, haven't they? The King Billy. Did you read that?
Yeah.
What for good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, I didn't know that.
So yeah, I'm in here. I've had I think the first studio I ever had was in like a spare bedroom. Then I moved it into the drum shop that I had, BW Drum Shop upstairs when I was involved with that for 3 or 4 years. And then I had a little setup in the basement of the Garibaldi, and then moved out of there February this year into this space with my friend Greg Colson. He plays for the Blockheads, Spiritualized. He's a multi-instrumentalist as well. And between the pair of us, we just offer full productions on people's tunes. And I do remote drum recording. We're working on his album. I'm working on little bits myself. So it's all been really good.
Yeah, it's good to keep busy. I reckon like having the studio set up is obviously a very nice thing to have and somewhere to go and be creative. But it's going to be a godsend when you're back up and touring as well, because you've got that. You can continue working, but you don't have to be on the road all the time, because it takes its toll, doesn't it? Like being out for so long, it's like you just want to sit on your own sofa or, not be on a fucking bus for a bit.
Yeah, I find that when I used to get back from touring, because it's so manic, all the traveling, all the shows, all the adrenaline every night, and sometimes when you get back, it does take a week or so just to get back into the flow of what is going on outside of touring. And when your tour manager doesn't slip your day sheet under the door anymore, you've got to sort your own life out. But I've always wanted to try and have something to do outside of touring, and I think this is definitely the way to go, because it's still productive. You still have to think. It's still music related, and and also eventually I can have more people in to get involved. But at the moment, because of the lockdown situation, me and Greg have kept it really tight between some of our close friends, so we haven't had a chance really to get people in all of the time because of the safety of it and all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
but we've done some like live gigs in here. I think we did one with the Coms and Baby Lung and we got some more to come up, which is going to be great. I might even work out a way of live streaming it rather than having it pre-recorded. But all the socials for this place that we sort of thrown together, it's called A&G Audio, which is myself and Greg. But we're gonna rebrand it to Foundry Street Studios, because this is on Foundry Street, and I just think it sounds a lot better.
Yeah, that's
cool,
fair
right?
enough. I think you're getting around the sort of not being able to have many people in there by doing remote stuff, are you? And sort of working on other people's tracks rather than recording them and things.
I think the lockdown thing and not being able to have multiple people in a room in studios and across London and the UK, Europe, it's made my workflow for remote drum tracking get even busier, because people still need drums recording, and if you can't get into a space with a group of people can just email me the tune, and then within a couple of days I've turned it around, and they've got 4 or 5 options back in their inbox, and then once they're happy with that, I get paid, and then they got the tracks. And some of them that I did early lockdown have been released on Spotify, and I've heard a couple of tracks on Radio 1 already and Six Music, and I never thought that it had happened like that so quickly. And I've been working with some of my friends in America that I've met over there from touring for years, some producers. And this with one producer I really respect, her name's Erin. She was the engineer on the last Bowie record, the Black Star album.
Oh wow!
She had to keep all that top secret, and I met her just after that had come out, when we were at South by Southwest Festival, and we became really good friends, us and Elliot Sumner, the band who we were playing with at the time. And she's been sending me tracks to record drums on, and I send them back to her, and I tend to do a dry version, which has got no effects on whatsoever, and then I do a mix myself of what I think is what I want the drums to sound like. And she's used my mix. And I'm buzzing about that.
Yeah, that's quality.
Nice.
So in terms of for you and recording, is it something you have studied from college, university, school, or is it something you've picked up through touring and been able to kind of watch it and go, do you know what, I can do this, and then kind of implemented it that way around?
Well, the first thing I ever recorded was when I was, I don't know, 14 or 15, and my mate had an acoustic guitar in his bedroom and a little electric guitar and an amp, and we used to have a mess around on it. And then I bought a loop station. I think it's the Boss one that's got 9 patches you can save on it.
Not this one.
No, it's the larger one. And we had a little mixing desk, and then you'd plug into it, and then you'd be able to record these 1-minute songs on this guitar pedal. And that was the first thing. And then from touring, I ended up saving up some money, bought my first laptop and an interface, and then got one of the early versions of Logic, and I just started to make music on it with me and my mates. And that was the start of my music production. And obviously, with YouTube, you can have a look on there if you want to learn something. You can find out what it is, but a lot of it is trial and error, and I've been doing that for maybe over 15 years now. And as I've progressed as an engineer and a player, and I think having better gear as well, better microphones, learning about mic positioning, and it's all a massive learning curve. And when I go into a studio now, if I'm working away, I try to understand what is going on with everything with the producer and ask lots more questions. Whereas I think when I was younger, I was so concentrating on getting the parts right. You look at it when you first go into a studio, you go, well, what is all this stuff? I don't know. Well, I'm just here to play. Whereas now I'll be in there asking a million questions,
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't studied. It's just been you know, learning from friends, picking up little tricks on the go. Everyone's got their own way of working. I don't think there's a right or a wrong way. I think it's just a case of getting stuck in. Greg is actually who I share the studio with here. He started working at the college, teaching students, and that's been a recent thing. And it's like he says, it's amazing how much they need to learn, and a lot of it is just down to just getting hands on and just trial and error. You know? But I would like to, you know, study more, but it's, you know, it's the cost of it as well, going to study in uni and all of that. And I probably won't ever have the time, but I do know other producers that I've worked with over the years that I could probably call up and say, look, can I come to London and sit in for a day or a couple of days? I'll just make the tea.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, and learn from there. You know, one of my favorite producers that I work with, his name's Flood. And he did that. The way he learned, he went from studio to studio making tea and learning everyone's different way of working and put them all together in his head. And he's one of the biggest name producers in the world at the moment.
Yeah, my Nick has been there, but my friend Neil runs a studio down in Southampton, the Ranch Production House. And again, I've known Neil going on like 10, 15 years now. And he started out studio out of his bedroom, and then he went to the next space, and now he has this amazing studio at like a farmhouse that he's converted, and it's got this incredible live room. And he's done, you know, from local bands and now like Milk Teeth, and they've had Funeral for a Friend record there with other producers. But Neil's of that ilk, and he'll get guys in who do have some experience, but then guys who want to learn and they're happy to come in and make the tea. And then again, like as Nick will attest to, when we've recorded, it'll be maybe a simple track, but he'll say, do you mind if my assistant jumps on? And we're like, no, that's cool. So Neil's there overseeing it, but then he lets those guys get hands on. And I think that's it. It's like you either learn through reading or you learn from taking it apart and seeing how it fits together, you know. So yeah, I always think that's a good school of thought to have on it.
Yeah, we've took on a young lad that when we do our live gigs here, he just approached us on our Instagram page. He was like, look, I'm just looking for some experience. Can I come in? And he's brilliant. You know, I mean, I work a different way to Greg. And when he comes in, you know, he learns the way we both work, and he's picking it up very quickly. And it's, you know, it's nice to give back a little bit as well, you know, to someone who's willing to learn. Because, you know, like I said, with Greg at the college, there's some kids that are like gagging to learn, and there's some that are just sat back going, well, I don't know. And, you know, the ones that are enthusiastic are the ones that really you want to get going and you want to help them out. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's it. I remember doing that. I went to, when I was 16, I only did a couple of days, but I went to the lodge and made tea there. And that was, obviously at 16, I didn't realise the opportunity that I had. And when I was there and I was, you know, making the tea and doing everything that they told me to do, I think if I had that opportunity 5-10 years later, I probably would have like been much more of a sponge and taken advantage of it. But yeah, so you need to catch those people that are really interested, young, and then they can get the leg up that perhaps you didn't have or whatever. And working in a studio is fucking cool. It's a really nice environment to be in. That creative, it's exciting, and yeah, I think it really encourages people to try new things and just be creative.
I think my thing when I was younger, obviously like drums is my first instrument, and even down to the point when I first started playing, I was like the first into school to write my name on the list so I could do the practices at lunch and break, because I was so keen and I just knew that I loved it. And it's always been like that. And when I did my work experience in a drum shop, which was the Drum Centre at the time on Ketchum Road, you know, I ended up doing 2 weeks there, and then I ended up getting a Saturday job because I was keen and, you know, I worked well with the lads. And then when I left, by the time I left school, I was full time there, and I was doing that and gigging. But I've always pushed, you know, anything to be related with playing drums, even to the point of if there's no gigs, I'll call up my mates and a pub and sort something out myself, just so we can go out rather than waiting on it. So I think there's a lot to be said for anyone in any industry, no matter what it is, you know, to actually push themselves if they're interested in something, to absolutely go for it, you know. For sure, yeah.
And that works both ways as well, because obviously that person you've got coming in helping you guys occasionally, they want the experience, and you're happy for the help as well, you know. So you're both getting something out of that exchange.
Yeah, exactly.
So going to your live world, I suppose now, and with obviously, as we know, lockdown and gigs aren't a thing at the minute, and obviously everyone's trying to work out how to do it best with sort of socially distanced gigs and kind of you know, maybe less capacity in venues to maybe see if that sort of spurs things on. I suppose going back in time for you in terms of touring, like what's your kind of favorite element of touring? Is it the travel? Is it the show itself? And you've obviously played all over the world, and do you find audiences are kind of different everywhere you go? Or is it just kind of the same live experience for where you've played around the world?
I think a lot of it can come down to the hang with the band, and how well you get on, and how well everyone is interacting with each other. Because if everyone's getting on and having a good time, that comes across on stage. And obviously you're all spending so much time together, all of the time. You wake up, you're in a group until the second you go to sleep. You might even be sharing a room, you know, and you might see someone every second of the day for months on end. So I think, yeah, like the hang is the most important bit. But for me, like I love playing. Like the actual gig itself is the best bit, because it's actually the only part of the day where you just get to chill out for a bit, because the rest of the time you're traveling, you're setting up, you're walking around looking for food, whatever, or just, you know, seeing what's going on. I mean, I've been to some amazing places. Like I've toured America for 4 months, and that was unbelievable with Elliot Sumner, and that was one of my most favorite tours, because I'd never done the whole of America before, and seeing all that for the first time was massively eye-opening. We did 25,000 miles driving, the figure of 8, round America, and I saw pretty much all of it with my own eyes, and you know, witnessed how different states are different, and the people, and like you say, the crowds are always different. You compare America to the UK, different parts of the UK, you know, the further north you go, the crazier it is. Sometimes you get a London crowd, they'll just sort of sit and watch, whereas you go to somewhere like Glasgow, they're getting involved. And I suppose I do love playing in Germany quite a lot. There's always been a lot of support for live music in Germany. They have a constant flow of touring bands. There's so many music venues there. And yeah, so I do think the best part is doing the gig. That's the reward, and then obviously the beers afterwards. If you have
well, especially in Germany, because I didn't know until I went and toured Germany in my band at the time. I didn't know. Basically, I worked in the Joiners in Southampton when I finished uni, so I was like help out with the booking and stuff. And we'd always get bands come over, and they'd been to Europe, and they were always really pissed off with the way they were treated over. And I never really understood it until I then went and toured in Europe and was like, oh, I get it, because they feed you, they find you somewhere to stay, they give you a beer-filled fridge that as soon as you take one beer out, another beer goes in there, and they pay you really well. So I was like, I now get why everyone's really pissed off when they come to the UK, where it's like, yeah, guys, you get a crate of water and a couple beers, like here's a beer token, and just
some
seeing the
bread.
difference.
Yeah.
You know,
it's because in Europe they have a better arts funding. For all of the arts, they have funding that they give to if you set up a music venue, you actually get given extra income to employ people. So they see it as if, like, if you're creating jobs in the arts, we'll support you. And that's why when you go over to Europe, you'll have like a chef that will cook for you, because they've got a job, they get paid. And then everyone gets fed really well. You know, the hotels are slightly better, and you know, it's something that we've never really had here in the UK. And even, I think even in America, you know, you can struggle sometimes. But yeah, in Europe, it's definitely one of the best places to tour.
Yeah, I remember playing in Germany in this place called Aachen. It's called. I think I'm probably butchering that as I say it. And we played this place called the Music Bunker, and it was like the craziest venue I've ever been to. And it's basically an old World War II bunker, and it was cheaper to. Well, basically they were going to rip it down, but it was going to cost them too much. So instead, they turned it into a 20, maybe 30 room practice room. All the rooms are all practice rooms, and then downstairs 20 meters under the ground is the music venue, and they've turned it into this. And like we were walking through it, and there's all these like little offshoots of where the offices were and all this stuff, and it's like, this is crazy. Like, if you wouldn't have this in the UK comparatively to, you know, that, to just think we'll turn this into a music venue. And again, it was a Wednesday night local gig, but people came out. You know, it's crazy, like absolutely crazy.
I mean, they literally turned an old public toilet into a venue in Shepherd's Bush.
Ginglick.
So that gives you
It's called Ginglick.
Ginglick, yeah. That gives you an example of what the difference is.
What's the weirdest venue you've played?
Oh God, I've played on a boat before, like that was pretty mental.
Was it docked or was it at sea?
No, it was all moving. Oh, I tell you what, one of the most recent ones I did that I really enjoyed. We drove and did a little gig in the mountain, and we wanted to play and record ourselves playing this like electronic stuff above the clouds. So we were in Spain, and I was doing some writing sessions with some friends of mine, and we just kept on driving up this mountain, got above the clouds, set up, and did a little live gig and filmed it.
Is that online?
I think it's so. I was trying to find it the other day, but if I can find it, I'll post it in the comments. I need to ask my friend where he's put it. It's on YouTube somewhere, I think.
Oh, amazing! Yeah, nice. That sounds quality.
But yeah, like there's one that I might be doing in Berlin in the next coming month. Well, as soon as we can move around. The same person who I did that gig with, he's managed to get a live stream setup in the back of his van, and there's enough to fit a band in there. And he wants me to go over and join in and just set up like a tiny little drum kit in the back. And then what they do, they drive around Berlin, play into the street with the door open, and then they turn up to 4 houses or venues, and then they just plug in to wherever their setup is, and they just continue the live stream, and it's a continuous 4-hour stream. And they've tried it out, and it works. And they only did it last week, and it's brilliant. So that'll be up there with some of the most mad places that I've done gigs. Nice. If it comes about, hopefully.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's interesting that I was just thinking maybe it's about time that we should have our track from our guest performance this week. But it just made me think how live performances have changed, because obviously over the last 8, 9 months, whatever it's been, how everyone's recording from home. They're either recording themselves for just audio, or they're recording live performances, or like we've been having that we didn't do from the start. People pre-recording themselves and then just playing the video, which is a much better way to do it from our perspective. It's a lot simpler and it sounds a lot nicer as well. But I just think it's just another example of how everything's had to adapt. You know, this is our version of going down the pub with some mates and having a drink and having a chat. And then us having pre-recorded music that we're playing. That's effectively, we're recreating a gig, a very small version of a gig. But like you're driving around Berlin, did you say, in the back of a van live streaming? I mean, that would never have happened without this coronavirus stuff.
I know. I don't think you get away with it in this country, but
no.
We'll see. I mean, they've done it and it's funny, but I think, you know, all the live stream gigs that everyone's doing, it's great. I think, because you have to find a way of doing it somehow. So yeah, it's always about, you know, pushing the boundaries of what you can do to be creative. And also some people's live streams and pre-recorded gigs are amazing. and they achieve it themselves. And it's about, you know, learning to record yourself, learning to get the camera set up and make sure everything's right, which is something that I bet people that are in the musicians never thought they'd have to worry about, because it's always taken care of with someone else. But it's just another thing that people have got to take on.
Yeah, one of the best examples I saw of that was Bring Me the Horizon did a load of Instagram videos of them recording their first single all remotely from home, and how they kind of pieced it together. And then hearing the song after the fact was really interesting, to be like, oh, I remember that was that little bit they did here and stuff. And I don't know, I always think that band is always kind of ahead of the curve a little bit on especially social media. They just nail it. But with this, stripping a song out and showing how they did it step by step was really interesting. Really, really interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely a different process of, you know, making a pre-recorded song when you're not in the room together. I've been doing quite a lot of them for Tom Grennan over these periods of lockdown, where I'll record here the drums and video myself doing it, and then the rest of the band will gradually put their bit on it, and then someone will put all the footage together, and it'll be as if it was a live gig. So I have to sometimes play the song thinking what the rest of the band's doing in my head, and then eventually you hear the end product, you're like, oh, okay, it worked out all right.
Nice.
I do miss playing with other people though at the same time, like all the jams we used to do, and you know, there's nothing better than getting 4 people in a room, plugging in and just having a little play together.
Amen to that.
You know, so I think that's the last time I played with 4 musicians at the same time was March, maybe just before that. In a way where you can just sort of have a free for all, you know. But yeah.
Nick, should we listen to the track?
Yes, let's do that. So we have got a pre-recorded track from Sean Grant. I'll let him introduce it, just as professional as we are, if not more so. So here is Sean Grant's performance.
Hello, NN Social. Thanks so much for asking me to play a song for you. I'm Sean Grant of Sean Grant the Wolfgang, and this is a new song called Murder Scene. Shot too late. Thunderstorms been banging on my door, but we're safe in here. I relinquish my fears. Enter the sea, my mysteries like an okay high in a much. Always, Nick.
Claps in the chat for that,
Claps in the
please.
chat.
Sean Grant of Sean Grant and
That
the
was great,
Wolfgang. Yeah, awesome.
That was really good. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Sean.
Yeah, cheers, Sean.
Yeah.
Love you too.
Right, we've got some questions for us and also for you, Adam. So we've got plenty come in. We've had a load of people from Instagram, so thank you very much, people, for replying to our little badge. The first question I'll start with is very morbid, so be prepared. This is a group question. Again, my friend Charlotte is on the song thing. She said, sorry for being so morbid. What song would you have played at your funeral?
My funeral. I don't know. I'm going Deeper Underground.
Yeah, nice.
Very good, very good. Josh?
I think I'll have I'm Horny.
Good. Very good. Very good. Nick?
Just before I say mine, these will all be added to our Spotify playlist.
They will. Yeah, the
Shit.
NN Social Spotify playlist.
Yeah.
So we'll be adding them.
We'll pop that link in our bio once they've been added, so you can all listen back to these crazy great tunes and regrettable choices. Mine, however, is not regrettable. It is Leanne Rimes' "How Do I Live Without You."
That's very good. That is a good one. I would then have my uncle, God rest his soul, who passed away last year, had Always Look on the Bright Side of Life, which was good. And he specifically said he wanted everyone to sing along with it as well. So it was quite funny in a crematorium of all of our family all going, a bit surreal. But I would probably have, I don't know, Venga Boys, Boom, 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 just because everyone knows I love that song. So it'd just be funny. I think, it's just like a Euro pop party. So something like that, I think.
Yeah, that was two different Venga Boys songs, but
Shit.
What is the greatest hit? When you die, you're just gonna have the entire greatest hits of the Venga Boys.
Just a Venga Boys mega mix of the two songs.
Yeah.
I'd have to say my favorite Venga Boys song is Blue. I 65 Blue. Probably my favorite Venga Boys song. Another question: what is the best biscuit?
No way. I was talking biscuits earlier. McVitie's.
A hot topic.
Just
I was going to bring some for my tea, you see, and I thought, maybe I'll just talk about the biscuits.
A straight up McVitie's chocolate.
Yeah, straight up.
Okay, I can respect that. Josh?
It's got to be those Fox's Viennese, the chocolate sandwich. Oh, fucking, they're so good.
You're
and one pack.
Fancy guy.
One pack. Well, you say that. You can normally get a pack for like £1 when you're on a special offer. And I think there's about 8 or 10 in there, which is about one portion. So it's perfect size.
Yeah. 1 cup of tea, 10 Viennese.
Yeah.
Klaus?
I'm going to have to go with the stock favourite chocolate hobnob. But I know it's not a biscuit, but it is in the biscuit world, and it is in the biscuit aisle of a shop. The Jaffa
French
cake.
baguette.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Jaffa cake. Yeah.
A tuna sandwich. No, Jaffa cake. And it's literally a cake, but it's in the biscuit aisle.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Jaffa cake.
I'm torn. I would say the go-to staple of anything is chocolate hobnob. Obviously, it's just plain and simple. That's why Peter Kay had that whole sketch about it. But I would say in recent years, those, I don't know if anyone's had them, the Fox's Extreme cookies, where it's like a cookie and then one side is dipped in chocolate. So it's like a digestive biscuit that's like chocolate digestive but cookie, if that makes sense. Those.
Yeah, and they're dense, aren't they?
They're
Big.
huge. You can only have like 2 max and you're like, now I'm done. So those are...
You need to try harder.
Do I? Those are definitely up there. Those are 100% up, I would say. Another question.
Biscuits.
My Instagram is shut, so I don't have the rest of the Instagram questions. Josh, you're normally clever.
Oh, okay. I don't know about that, but I have Instagram. 1 second, let me have a look.
Oh, back on the biscuit front, I did recently have Ben's cookies. I don't know if anyone's ever had those before.
Yes, very good.
There was one in London where I was, and it
The
was really
ones with
good.
the chocolate in the middle.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah,
I think Lauren likes those. I think we've
yeah.
been to
It was very good.
London.
It was very good.
Okay, I've got the questions. Okay, what's your tooth cleaning etiquette? Is it paste, water, or water and then paste? I'll go first. I don't actually no, I won't because I don't understand that question.
Okay. Mine is water and paste on a normal toothbrush, and I'll do that first, and then I'll get my electric toothbrush and then use that afterwards.
Double trouble.
Oh,
Interesting.
hello. Mine is wet the toothbrush with water, paste on the toothbrush, brush for 2 minutes, spit out, and that's it. I don't put water in my mouth. That's it. Straight up.
Oh,
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
rinse.
I don't rinse because I heard, and again, it's probably bullshit. It's probably an urban legend that as soon as you like drink water or rinse or something, it just basically is, you might as well not brush your teeth. So it's just stuck with me. It's probably bollocks because everyone's looking at me like it's bollocks. So,
Fucking weirdo.
so yeah, so I brush, spit out the paste, the used paste, and then that's it. That's it. Put my toothbrush in the holder.
As long as you don't drink orange juice afterwards, so you're probably good with that technique. That is the worst combination of tastes in the world.
Yeah.
Gross, isn't it?
Toothpaste.
It's like chewing tinfoil. Nick, what have you got for your setup?
My standard tooth cleaning etiquette would be water the brush, put the toothpaste on, put a dab of water on top as well, then brush, couple of shots of neat gin, and then get on with your day.
My nephew, who is, what is he now, 11, he has a psychotic version of brushing teeth, which is always stuck with him. And I blame it for, like kids' toothpaste is like bubblegum flavor. It's never like normal. He just swallows the paste. Like he always has. And I think he always will, like a little psycho. He's like,
Yeah, but
babysitting him. And he was just like, yeah, I'll swallow it. I was like, I don't think you should. He's like, well, I have. I was like, okay.
Isn't that because like kids' toothpaste has less like fluoride and stuff in it, and it actually tastes of like strawberry or whatever?
Well, yeah, his is like bubblegum flavor. Because I remember brushing
well,
my
there you
teeth
go.
and I was like, what the, like, what the hell is this? But yeah, he's just like always and always will, I think, just swallows the toothpaste.
Yeah.
Brushes his teeth and just goes, "Ooh," and then he's done.
I misunderstood the question. I thought he was talking about like what order do you do the paste and the water, but obviously not. I brush my teeth. Well, yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
I brush my teeth for 2 minutes, scrape my tongue, dental floss, mouthwash, done.
Wow.
It's exciting, isn't it?
That is intense. That is very intense, mate.
You know, if I was nervous for a gig, for a show, I used to brush my teeth before I went on stage.
Really?
Just to freshen me up, just to get me like a little bit more.
That was the ritual.
Yeah.
Damn. I remember my friend
now
telling me, when you brush your tongue and you might go and get like a gag reflex thing. My friend was like, if you hold your ear while you do that, you don't get a gag reflex. And I was like, cool. And I tried it and it worked. And then someone said to me, yeah, because it's a placebo. And I was like, what? And then when I did it, I was like, again. So, yeah.
I wish other people brushed their teeth before they went on stage. The amount of times I've turned up and gone to use the microphone and gone, oh,
Stinky Mike. Stinky cheese Mike. Oh.
I started using like the muffler things, putting them on that. Yeah.
Whatever.
So
That's
still I'm doing
you
that.
wanted to look like Axl Rose. That's the only reason you put that on there. You liar.
Yeah, well, Roddy from Idlewild used to do it too, so that's
There we go.
bit of both. Yeah.
Okay.
And it stopped me getting electric shocks. I used to get electric shocks.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Another question. This one specifically for you, Adam. The best drummer you have ever seen?
Ooh.
Can't say you in the mirror.
Hey.
It's a guy called oh god, what? I can't believe I just forgot his name now. Fucking hell. I've watched Steve Gadd. He used to play with Paul Simon. That was very good. He actually played in Northampton at the Derngate, and that was amazing. The other guy is Keith Carlock. He plays with Steely Dan, and he's been one of my favourites for a long time. But as far as my two favourites that I've seen physically live playing, definitely. When I was younger, I watched Chad Smith, and we put on a little show for him. So, but at the time when I was younger, I was really into the Chili Peppers, so that was pretty decent. But yeah, most recently, Steve Gadd, Keith Carlock.
Nice. What impresses you in a drummer? Because I always used to be like, metal drummers are really impressive, especially with like big double pedal, like insane sort of thing. And then I kind of started watching a bunch of them. I was like, well, once you've seen it, you kind of seen it, like in terms of like blast beats, I suppose. So for you, what would make you go, fucking hell, that's a good drummer? A nice paradiddle? When I
was younger, the first thing you sort of do, you want to play everything at the same time. So I was like, practicing lots to get all the speed and all that, and then you end up playing and then you overplay. And it was when I learned to strip things back completely that my favorite drummer is a guy called Al Jackson, and he's Al Green's drummer. And a lot of the time he just plays bass drum, snare drum, and a hi-hat. And I think it might do an album. You might hear one crash cymbal or like 3 toms, and it's really simple. And I think nowadays it's all about playing for the song, from what I think. But I definitely appreciate different playing styles. But for me, simplicity is definitely the one.
Banging.
Cool. I'm just going to say my two favourite drummers that I've seen. Tommy Francis. There you go. He's the handsomest drummer in the world, and
except for you.
Yeah, well, he plays with his whole body, which is cool. I love that. It's like everything's. And then the other one is Lowell Campbell, who's the drummer for a band called Winter Sleep, who are a Canadian band, and he is a brilliant drummer. It's all feel, but he plays with his face. It's like it's so good to watch. So anyone that wants to check them out, Winter Sleep, there's a video of them performing some studio sessions for a radio station. Might be KXP, might be another one, Audio Tree or something like that. But it's them doing In Came the Flood. So Winter Sleep, In Came the Flood, just for Lowell Campbell's drum face.
Mine would be that I've seen live. Benny Greb, is that how you say his name?
Benny Greb, yeah, he's great.
Who was amazing. I saw him at like a music event at the NEC. He was just there playing, and I was just like, fucking hell, this guy's nuts. And then Eddie Thrower, who was the drummer in LTA. He now just has his Instagram. So Lower Than Atlantis drummer. He's from Southampton. So my old band used to play with his like different bands he played with, but he's just unreal, basically. Just nice. always great. Josh, who's your favorite drummer?
Well, my favourite drummer is obviously my dad. He's amazing. But my second favourite is probably, is it Jose Casillas, the Incubus drummer?
Incubus drummer, yeah, man.
Yeah, it's because when I started listening to Incubus was when I really started to get into alternative music or music with musicians and people playing instruments rather than electronic music. So that was really pivotal and significant in my sort of education in music. So that'd be mine.
Nice. Sick.
That's all of the Instagram questions.
That's all the Instagram questions. Cool. Well, I don't know if the guys pre-warned you, Adam, but we have a question that we ask our guests, which is, and this will be good actually, because seeing as you are a touring musician, I'm hoping that there's some random famous person who's visited you. But who is the most famous person you've seen in Northampton?
Oh, I thought about this, and there's not many, to be honest, because if I'm in Northampton, I tend to be in the pub a lot of the time. So if I go with that, then I suppose you could put people like Tom Grennan and Slow Tie in there. But the funniest that I have seen in Northampton, who's the guy that does the I'm definitely sure it was him, but Dickinson's Real Deal.
Oh,
yeah, David Dickinson.
Dickinson's Real Deal.
Yeah,
I'm sure I've seen him in Northampton at some point, and
I saw him
had to
too.
double take it.
What color of mahogany was he at the time?
Oh, he's probably purple. I should imagine. Velvet, purple velvet.
Yeah. I saw him in town. He was outside Greg's. Yeah. And he was his skin was the same color as the sausage roll.
Oh my God, man. He was doing a meet and greet outside Greg's. just a fan meetup. Oh
Just signing sausage rolls.
Yeah.
That'd be so good. Can you imagine like bumping into him, just be like, "Can you sign this sausage roll? Because that's all I've got
This-
on me."
Napkin from Greg's. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be good. Well, that's a good one, mate. You've nailed it because we do like them like that. We like a naff one, So you've nailed it on that one. A friend of mine messaged me and said, "By the way, I meant to tell you this. We once had Wolf from Gladiators visit our school. Back in the 90s when Gladiators was big, they would come round to schools, and my friend had Lightning and Wolf visit their school. And it's not there anymore. Kingsthorpe Middle School is now houses. It got knocked down a couple of years ago. But yeah, Wolf from Gladiators was there. So there's a good one for you.
I remember doing a gig in Corby when I was playing with Uptown, and Rhino was the bouncer.
He was the bouncer. Yeah,
Yeah.
I said that before. I said he was the bouncer in Northampton somewhere.
Yeah, it was in Corby. He was there, and I think a massive fight kicked out that night
He
between
legged it.
between two of
Ran
the
away.
bands. It was like band rivalry, and something happened. Someone got punched in the face. I'm not mentioning names. But
Yeah,
I think
basically.
you might know who it was.
Rhino appeared with his dual stick and was like, "Right, everyone, calm the fuck down." Just started swinging at people. Jesus. Well, that leads on to our next question. It doesn't, but I just thought I'd try and segue it like Josh does really professionally. So recommendations that you've checked out during lockdown. Obviously, you've been working in your studio, but when you've had any downtime, is there any music, TV or film or books or podcast you've checked out that you thought of really good and you want to let people know about?
I haven't really been watching that much TV at all. I tend to listen to the radio quite a lot and make playlists, and I kind of end up letting Spotify decide, what I listen to. I think the main thing is just to get out, go for a walk. I've been enjoying doing that recently because you can end up just.
Oh, we lost him.
Is he frozen for everyone?
Yeah.
A break time. And I think I've always been a bit like that, whereas now I need to start, clocking off and spending a bit more quality of time outside work and chilling out. So yeah, I can't really recommend anything because everyone's got more knowledge of films and whatever. But I do think taking time out from social media is a big one.
Nice. Yeah.
If I can recommend doing anything, turn your phone off for a day, and just get away from it, because I think with that and everyone's mental health at the minute, you've got to look after yourself that way just by getting off it, because it's too much for anyone to handle all at once.
Yeah, definitely. I recommend highly, because I did it a few years ago, deleting your Facebook. It's wonderful. So I still have Instagram, but that will go eventually. But I literally have Messenger, which you can keep. If anyone's worried, you can deactivate your Facebook so it deletes, and then you can keep Messenger, basically. So yeah, get rid of Facebook because it's shit. That's my advice.
It is. I've deleted it from my phone, but I've still got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just spend hours just looking at inane shit.
Yeah, yeah.
All you makes it boring.
I had to log into it a couple months ago because my Messenger logged me out, and I had to basically log in to kind of reactivate it and stuff. And it just looked alien to me. I hadn't been on it in maybe 3 or 4 years, and I just didn't understand it anymore. I was like, I don't get this at all. Instantly, my feed was just an argument. I was like, bye, see you later. Oh well, thank you for that, mate. That's very good. And if you do go for a walk at Delaprey Abbey, make sure you wear wellies, as me and Josh discovered on Saturday when we were in trainers. And
thanks.
I wanted to walk towards the lake, but it was too muddy for Josh's trainers, so we weren't allowed to walk that way. So he's laughing because it's true.
It's 100% true.
He went, I'm not walking across this mud. I was like, what? Let's go over there. He's like, I'm not walking across this mud, and we had to go back. So, yeah.
Was he wearing flip flops?
No, he was wearing his really clean trainers. They were very clean, to be honest.
His white Vans.
No,
Yeah.
no, they weren't. They weren't. Yeah, we'll say they were for your sake,
Yeah.
Josh. Yeah.
They were my smart dress trainers.
His Sunday
Josh,
best.
what have you got recommendations for this week?
Well, I listened to one of your recommendations last week, Andy, and watched the JS Crime. What's it called?
JS Crime Psychology? Oh, God.
Something like that, yeah, which you recommended last week, which is people is a guy picking apart interrogation videos from police stations where people have committed horrific crimes, and he explains how and what the interrogators are doing, and a bit more around the whole story itself. But I've got to be honest, I'm not going to watch anymore because I watched about 8 of them and it's making me a little bit mental.
Yeah.
Just like trying to get inside the mind of a killer. So I don't think I'm going to watch it.
JCS Criminal Psychology, it's called.
Yeah, it's absolutely fascinating when you know somebody's being interrogated by the police and this guy knows exactly what the interrogators are doing and why they're sat in that way and why the room's laid out in that way. And it's absolutely fascinating and interesting to see these people lie and try to make up stories and things. But I'd advise against watching too many of them. But yeah, that's my recommendation for the week.
Wicked.
Good shout.
Klaus?
Right, yeah. So I'm going to recommend a few things for the future. So I'm going to bang on again. War on Drugs live album comes out Friday, and there's a podcast, a 4-part podcast that comes out about that. So it's the band's roadie interviewing the band. So that'll be really interesting and really good. The record comes out Friday, so give that a listen. One of the best bands ever.
Right.
And then not this Friday, but next Friday, Vic Kitch. I don't know if anyone's ordered from that before, but it's a pop-up kitchen in association with our good friends at Bread and Butter Factory. And it's Caribbean food. So you can do pre-orders of rotis, which are these lovely bread with a curry inside. Really delicious food. And that is, I think it's not this Friday, but the week after. And you can go to vickitch.com. So that's VICKKITCH.com to pre-order the food for next Friday. So I recommend doing that.
Are they a sponsor?
No, but they should. They should be a sponsor. They can be a free sponsor.
Yeah.
As long as they give me free food. But then the only other one is Face the Music podcast, which is our good friend of the show, Maddox Jones, and a friend of mine, Jen Davies. Davies. Sorry, Jen. Davis, yeah. They've started up a podcast, which is on Spotify. So if you type in Face the Music on Spotify, it's just them having a little ramble with some guests, and it's really fun. Good people, good talk.
Wicked.
Cool. Andy?
Yeah, not I'm trying to think what I've got this week. Podcast I've been listening to. They're very good, but they're very long and informative. But Hardcore History by Dan Carlin. So if you ever delved into one of them, they're 4.5, 5 hour long podcasts where he strips out an entire moment in history and really breaks it down. So I'm currently listening to Supernova in the East, which is about the Asia Pacific World War II era, basically that led up to the bombing in Hiroshima, and it's unbelievable, like fascinating and stuff. And they were talking about, the podcast starts with a guy when they found the last Japanese soldier who thought the war was still on, and they found him in the Philippines jungle in 1978. Yeah. and he was like still fighting for the Japanese army. So it's a really fascinating podcast. But it's 4 parts for that one. But all his podcasts are amazing. So Dan Carlin, Hardcore History, if you've ever checked those out or want to check them out, really good.
I think I've listened to one about the Vietnam War.
Yeah, more than likely. He's covered like Genghis Khan. He's covered the Manhattan Project. So this is like his latest kind of series, Supernova in the East. Yeah, amazing. You need to get into it though. Like I say, they're like 4 or 5 hour podcasts, but well worth it if you like history.
Nice.
But yeah, not a lot else really. I'm just excited for tomorrow, not tomorrow, Friday, when Sea Haven's new album comes out, as I've talked about before. So very excited about that, but not a lot from me. Yeah, pretty
Cool.
quiet. Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Cool. Is that are we about done there, Andy?
I think we are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I better just check. You know, I had another beer while we were listening to Sean Grant.
What
so-
the hell is going on?
That is my favorite beer. Like one of my favorite
great.
beers of all time. That one. I love it. It's delicious.
Yeah, it is really nice. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, we'll wrap it up about there. Adam, Ian,
Vogue.
when are you? Yeah. Sorry. When are you going to change, rebrand and stuff? So where can people go to find out about you in the studio?
Well, at the moment, if you go onto Instagram or Facebook, if you still got it after this,
Hey.
it's A.G audio, or just type in AG audio and you'll find out, see what we've been up to over the past, however many months. But eventually, I suppose over the next month or so, we're both quite busy at the moment, and I need to come up with a nice logo for it. But A&G Audio, have a look for that, or on my Instagram, you can find it on there, and you'll find it.
We recommend Meg Amir Gears Van for logo.
Yeah, Meg 12, who did our lovely logo that's all over the place and in the corner there. So yeah, if you want any logos doing, Meg's your gal.
If you want a really good looking cartoon version of yourself, she's your gal.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Well, thanks for your time, Adam. Appreciate it, mate. It's nice to see you doing so well. But it's no surprise, to be honest. So thanks for your time, mate.
And props to this too.
Yeah, we have had a comment about the facial hair tonight is very strong between all 4 of us. It's almost like the evolution of beard, going from Adam to Nick to me to Josh, like kind of thing.
The evolution of laziness. That's what.
Yeah, I remember someone saying to me, they were like, "We know what beards signify in films," and I was like, "What?" They were like, "The main character's given up on life," and I was like, "Brilliant!" Like, amazing. I've had a beard since I was 18, so fuck.
Yeah, and in films, the mustache is legend.
Yeah. Top shagger, I think. Yeah, top
shagger.
I think is the mustache.
You said it.
Wrong kind of film. Well, let's do our little post. So, Adam, we like to pose for our audience. So we Vogue. So think of a nice pose you can do and hold. Anyone who's watching, if you can screenshot, tag us, share us, put it on Instagram, any socials. Other socials are available, even though you should delete them. So get your pose ready. And in 3, 2, 1, let's Vogue. And keep holding your Vogue. Get your screenshots, everyone. Okay, and in 3, 2, 1, unvogue. Great. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us tonight. We'll see you next week for our last episode ever, we hope. That means lockdown's over. So fingers crossed. It's our last episode.
Yeah. Hopefully it's extra special. We do have some extra special stuff for it.
We have some surprises, we hope.
And hopefully 2 musical performances.
Oh, yeah.